You're going to have a very interesting, what we call money-making live Q&A with me and Kelly, where you guys get to ask questions so that we can contextualize the answer and make sure you get the most useful insights or actionables that help you move the business forward and make more money. Okay? There, please.
I'm Clara. My question is for the both of you. Could you all share more about maybe the most difficult period of your career? And is it always necessary or important to avoid that shift?
I think for me, it's really setting the goal. I think with a lot of my calls with our clients, I always talk about what is the goal that you want to work towards. Because if MDRT is the goal that you want to work towards and you're willing to put in the time and effort to do it, then let's do it. But the last thing that I want is that, you say, I want to do MDRT. Then after that, 6 months later, you tell me, hey, actually, I don't really feel like doing MDRT kind of thing. So that was personally for me. When we did this business together, I found it most difficult when we don't have a goal that we want to work towards. Not that we needed a lot of money or whatever, but at least if we set a very high revenue target or something that we think that, I don't think I can do it now, but it actually excites me. But it stresses him. He is very stressed when we said that. But for me, when we said, I think there was a period of time we didn't say anything. We just focus on the business, then we just do whatever that we need to do. And then I just feel like I'm very lost. I wake up and I just I look at him, I'm like, I don't know what to do today. I got cold, then 就这样咯, that's all. I don't know what to do next. But once we had, I think we spent 2 days sitting down and then coming out with a crazy goal that we want to achieve. Okay, in 3 years, we want to achieve this amount. In 5 years, we want to achieve this amount. And then the amount is a bit crazy. Then I was okay, now I feel very excited. Okay, how do we achieve this? If I need to achieve this, I need to make sure that our clients get results, whatever. So that excites me. So the period that I feel the most down is when I don't know what I'm working toward. And maybe because I had a conversation with some of the ADHD people. So I have ADHD. So when I face a problem on itself, to me it doesn't make me very unhappy. I'm actually happy to have problems to solve. I think it's weird for me, but I feel excited when there's problem for me to solve. Yeah. So then I feel the lowest when I had no goals. I just feel like I'm floating every day. Yeah. So I set a high goal and then I just work towards that.
For context, you realize she's the boss. She don't feel stressed because she's here's the goal, then do it. But I'm stressed out, right? Because okay, this okay, right? So I get stressed out a lot. Really, sometimes she's hey, this goal is not big enough. Then we consider, then you think about it, right? Yeah, so that's on context. I think my lowest point is really when I move out of my parents' place. And let me give you a backstory, right? And so, left the industry, right? 1 year, didn't do much, hoboing around. And then after that, in 2020, Feb, March period, COVID happened, right? And Kelly was staying over, we were working on the things, trying to get things to work. And just for context, I'm the only child, right? We live in my parents and I, we live in a 3-bedroom condo, etc. So it's pretty okay, it's comfortable. But here's the problem, right? So, and some of you who have been married, attached, and it's living like an in-laws kind of thing. So what happened was sometimes Kelly should go to the toilet, and sometimes this lady sometimes when everybody has dropped, right? But for ladies it's more visible because you can see. And so we share the toilet, common toilet with my dad. And so what happens is my dad hates. My dad is very hygienic, those traditional everything must be clean, spotless kind. And then it's it's not even anywhere, it's just the drain is just there, right? And it's just all in one place. And so what happened was that, it was unhappy. And never mind. To me, it was it's my dad, it's my parents' house, I'm under their roof, I respect the rules. Right? We respect the rules. And so we try to do our best, clear up every time we go, yada. Until you get a little bit more anal. But I guess it was also because of COVID period, where everybody just coop up, remember, every day you can't get out, whatever it is, things are going crazy. People are going crazy. And one day, he sent me a photo of the hair, right, the drain, and then sent to me, WhatsApp me. I don't know, old people, they just want to send me. Then they never say anything. Take photo set. Then you see, there's a young, only child, male, and it's just a bit feisty. Some of the parents think it's them triggered, right? And so it triggered me. And I went to confront him. And I told him, I said that, look, I get where you're coming from, but it cannot be like, what, every hour you do a check, I have to clean what? Whatever. Yeah, I mean, like, be reasonable. And then after that, like, he flat out. And I flat out. And to date, over the last like 29 years, like that was the biggest, it wasn't a fight, but it was the biggest quarrel, heated argument ever. Like, we were crying, like Kelly was there, then my mom came out, it was just crazy, right? And then like what seemed to be the superficial issue about the hair, then you talk about the past, you're never proud of me, that kind of stuff. Yeah, you're just there, right? And I just decided like, fuck this. The same day, we packed up, we just left. Where did we go to? We went to our co-working space back then. Then we slept on the floor. Yeah, we showered cold showers, right? Because it was it was a Harbourfront Center or Harbourfront Cocoon site. It was a co-working space, the one you see cable car. And then we just slept on the floor and everything else. And that was my lowest down period because we did a lot of money. Business was just starting. It was COVID. And then now I left the home and the relationship with my parents that I've treasured all these past 20 years. And for context, we had a lot of quarrels, even on the personal level. So it's really hard. And so there was a down moment, more down than anything, by the way. Even the ups are left, that's fine. Like, compared to this, fine. But one thing I knew back then, and we had a conversation about, one thing I knew back then was that you just need to get through. You just need to get over this phase. One thing that really helped to get out of down moments was like, we know that this is only temporary. Like, we keep reminding ourselves, even though it took us about 7 months before we really become a little more stable. When I say stable, like we're trying to earn $10,000 a month together. We're trying. That's why it got better. But 7 months. I think the hard part was also going back and knock on my parents' door. Because I think the sad part was like, my mom told me that like, my dad is sad. That's hard, right? Like, guys, we don't like to say those things, but you can feel it, right? And you don't want our dad to be sad. And so, yeah, but things turn out well. Push on. I put down my ego and say like, hey dad, I'm sorry, but I moved out, etc., etc. I hope we have a better, good relationship. Yeah, and actually from there, like, it turned out better, Like, right now, like, every week we'll meet, I'll buy all the stuff. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, it was really down, man. Yeah, but it went a lot better. And that was like the big thing. And then, things kind of went okay from there. Yeah, so that's really down for us.
I think to add on to Clara's second part to the question is that, can we do something to avoid it? I think a lot of the time, we cannot avoid all these things. It's just happened. And it affects. Like what Ben says, a lot of business problem is personal problem. So we cannot avoid it. But I also find out that every time we go through a huge ass problem, we actually grow. And that growth actually shows in all parts of our life. And especially in business. Even our clients, all these things, you guys, those have been with us for years, have seen us grow as well. And it's because of these problems that we face, hence we become better and all. Help you?
So hopefully it helps. I don't think you can avoid it. Now, do I think that's necessary to get to where we are right now? I was having a chat with like Isaac and some of the guys, right? I hope, like, remember just how I said, I hope you guys don't go through the same shit as we did or I did. But I don't know if I also truly meant that statement. And the reason for that is because sometimes we really need to go through it before we can really understand what it means to lose everything and to really get back up. And so these are experiences that, and that's why the wish is really like, take the lessons. I hope I can give you the experience, but without the scar. You know what I mean? Like, imagine you go through like those simulation. Imagine you go through my life, but then after that, 30 minutes you come out, okay, still I see you got money. Still okay, like, hope that happens, but like, sometimes you just need to go through that. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. Now, of course, we try to minimize that. Minimize all the pitfalls, right? Yeah, because there's so many times we fell down. So many times I just told her, I say like, hey, funnily, it's not she telling me. It's not her telling me, hey, we shouldn't do so much. It's me telling her, I say like, hey, fuck, I don't do this anymore. Even the last 4 years, I'm just like, we just chill. We just earn 10K a month, serve one client a month, one-to-ones, we go Bali and do remote working and do a lot of bullshit. You know, that kind of stuff, living the digital nomad life, right? I told so many times, I said, I just want to do that. Then she looked at me and said, yeah, you sure you can? And then she always give me another look. And then she's like, but say what you really want. Right? Like mountains, right? Sometimes you're climbing your mountain, then you realize you see the other mountain shorter, you want to climb that mountain, you know? And I'm like, no lah, it's not. Yeah. She won't call me a pussy, but every time she give me that look, I'm like, okay. I'm like, I just see man up. Right? And I eat that shit. Yeah, so hopefully that answers your question.
Do you believe that there's a seasons in the year? Meaning like it could be like maybe beginning of the year is like prospecting, or maybe towards the end is mostly closing. So some context. I think so far in my career, I've always been like my production I'll not say very lower in the first half of the year, and most of my production actually come in Q4. So when I look around me, the better producers, their Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 actually about the same. Or some Q4 a lot more lah. Then I always wonder, I've been doing the things, my result like this is not too bad, but I think you feel a lot better emotionally if it was more consistent. So the second part of the question is it because I'm different from them? Or because I feel bad sometimes that, hey, wow, how come the first quarter, second quarter do well already, then the second half of the year, like we see, I do like, the more I do like, wow, the more I need to catch up with the final quarter. But I always pull through somehow, but I just want to feel better about it.
So at least for me, I think just the industry, and it changes the industry. Let me explain, right? So like if you are in a business where you're selling like winter clothing, right? And if you're in some American countries, whatever, then of course there are seasons, right? You know, you gotta change, you gotta yada. But I think at least in our industry, like advisory, consumer standpoint, I don't think there's like seasons, to be honest. Right? Because like Singapore is just very simple, right? You just have a ton of holidays, school holidays, you go travel here and there, so on and so forth, that's about it, right? Chinese New Year, whatever. In fact, when our prospects are having holidays, it's good for us, right? And so like, I think when people talk about seasons, what they're really referring to is, and I'm not saying that's you, I'm saying that's at least what I hear from people and what I think about I look at their thought process, which is, they just want to say there are certain parts of the year that are seasonal, that comes up with excuses for their lack of production, right? And so what I would suggest is really diving deep and asking yourself, right? Which is like, if you want to feel better, then something's got to change. And I can tell you one thing, and this is something to do with black belt. It's just same activities. I tell everybody how's one activity you can do to get save more money, but you make it feel better. Instead of rushing or earning or prospecting just to make your Q4 go up, do it in November, December to make your Q1 go up. So you hear people say MDRT January, February, first quarter MDRT or COT, right? Have you ever asked them when they did the prospecting? Because a lot of producers, this is just me saying, they just gamify the system. Because again, MDRT is not end of year hit, they don't care. You January hit, you also can. But if I prospect in December or November, I say, and then December or January, February, then that makes you feel better and you get MDRT, right? And so like that's one little hack of how you see things. But I think more important is you want to ask yourself like, are you okay with like that? Then like that, are you okay?
You want to have like that?
No, I think can be. So even that answer, everything can be better. The question is like, do you want that? Okay, then I will really look at activities more than everything. Yeah. And also because like how many years in business that, and it has been like this for a while. Like usually the pattern is like that, right? And so that you want to just break the pattern because right now, like your way of the style of doing business is like last year was like that, last year was like that, this year most likely also gonna be like that. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. That makes sense? Whereas like those fund investment funds, right? What past performance don't predict future performance, but in this case, a lot of times it does. We choose believe that it does, right? last year we did this, maybe this year also. How about we try something different? Yeah. Right, in terms of activities and making that the goal as compared to second half. Like for us, right? It's something funny. You know, business, you have like financial year, right? Then there's calendar year. Calendar is 1st Jan to 31st December, right? We keep our financial year from an accounting standpoint is March. So it's not like calendar year. We came up with one more term. It's called the business year. So our business year starts on 1st November and ends on 31st October. Why? Very simple. I don't want November and December to be the 2 months that I want to chill and get more sales to catch up with our business targets. I want to make 31st October the month where we close up. So that when November, December, we are just building it up. In January, when it happens, boom. You just feel better. We just don't have that. That makes sense? Right? And so like what? In short, right? You guys, this is your Q3, right? Next month. Is it next month? Next month, Q3, right? For us, it's our Q4, right? Yeah. Purposely do it. So it does make planning a little bit messy with the team and everything else because it need to coincide with, you're right. Q2 mastermind or Q3 mastermind, like it just what it is, right? But it helped us so much. Because now we play to our own rules, our own way of how we see time. Yeah. So at least that's what I help.
One more thing is that if you realize that has been happening over the last few years, then it might got to do with the state that you're in. Because usually on Q4, everybody is in a, like, okay, let me up my activity, up my skill set and everything. When you receive an objection in 1st of November, you will try your best to handle the objection, right? But if you receive the objection on 1st January, you'll be thinking, okay lah, still got time. If you go and think about it, then we meet in March. So it's a lot to do with the state as well. And maybe also a lot of time in your Q4, you're busy closing. Then what about the nurturing part? Then you spend the first 3 quarters nurturing, then the 4th quarter you start closing. So it has to be a pattern that you have to break in terms of activity or also with your state. Do you feel like you are more relaxed in the first 3 quarters? But during the appointment, yeah, then you get your answer.
So just now you said that other people are like the Q1, Q2, Q3 can close. Those other people, do you hang out with them a lot? So it goes back, then you look at the group of people you're hanging out with as well, right? Like people you see daily, texting or like been known for years, like how are they doing it? Fun, quick story, right? When I was at my agency last time, they all have all like those hot desking kind of fun, like those kind of things, right? And so they were like rules. And so I was in the agency, but I was a different team from, there were like maybe 4 leaders or 4 teams under my director. And so funnily, 2 roles, that's what we feel. Our team, like my boss team, whatever, we take this role. But for some reason or another, I choose to take the other role, which belongs to another manager or the other team. There was 5 of us that always took those tables. Only 5 of us got MDR. The rest didn't. And this every night I go opening, go already, come back, talk to them. They go opening, come back, talk to them. Every day. That is the usual like, you come back. Hey, 你关了没有？没有啦，那里可能 is opening 嘛。Opening means closing, right? Hey, yeah, they're just like this sort of stuff. And it's every day. And only the other day. Right? So like in your day-to-day, like agency, if your colleagues, find the right people to hang out with, It's important. In fact, like one of the things that advisors spend most time on wasting is just hanging out with your colleagues. Don't waste time with your colleagues. They're not going to buy from you. Honest. Right? Wow, high deal with them. Hey, please, save your time. Right? Go and take a nap. Go and hang out with them. Right? So just don't. I'm just being real here. Right? Now, when I say don't hang out with that, I don't mean like, oh, hey, loser. But 5K only, loser. Like, no lah. I'm just saying like, just reduce your contact. If they need help, you help them. Right? Offer whatever you can. But you just remember, at the end of the day, like you're living your life. So find the right people. Yeah. And that's also kind of like the price to pay, right? Start pruning your relationships. We prune a lot of relationships. And it's true. The higher up go, less friends you have.
No friends.
I think like nearest, we have a few friends that really matters to us. But I think like friends, I think like our clients are like our friends. To be honest, now you have Claire, you're just texting, you're just like talking. Yeah, that's what it is, because we hang out so much. So I don't know if are you I don't think like are you like weird or no, I don't think you're that. Yeah, just
It's
need to
the
find the right
state
people.
different.
Yeah, just it.
Mm.
But if you like what you're doing now and how it is, be yourself. I was telling, I think, a couple of folks, I said, like, I told her at Xiaomi, I said, your business model specifically, just me to you, is like that. You must do it like that, not like that. Yeah, I shall not mention the reason why, but I told her that. Okay, cool. Who's next?
My question is about the setting of goals, and so let's say if you after maybe 3 years or 5 years you hit your goals already, then what's next? So I have a bit more background. So there's two train of thoughts. So one is set another goal, then you hit the goal, then you set another goal. So it's like never ending. So my thought is I guess it's something that's holding me back. I said this one never ending. Try so hard for what? Is after this goal, then it's another goal, then it's another goal. It's like moving goalposts, right? Then try so hard for what? You will never get anywhere because you never hit the final goal because it keeps moving. The other way of thinking is so because after you hit the goal already, right, then nothing else then okay I scared of the what's next because of nothing else already. I already hit my ultimate goal, so I send back I don't work so hard because I scared if I hit already, then my life will no more meaning.
I think a lot of the books that I read, they always talk about like humans needs to grow. And I had this conversation with Ben, I think last year. I was saying like, wow, I had the same thought. I was like, as a human, we are meant to suffer because we must always grow. And when you grow, then it's very uncomfortable. Right? I think I had an IG post on that also. I was like, I had a realization that, okay, I accepted that I always have to grow. So hence, I always want to work towards a new goal. And I think a lot of the times, most people think that goals are monetary. That was what we thought. Like, hey, this year I want to maybe earn 100K, then I earn 200K, subsequently more and more and more. But I also realized that goals should also include maybe milestone in life. So for me, I was thinking, okay, maybe in the next few years, I want to focus on building the business, work while I still can work. And then subsequently, if I want to have a kid, I want to spend my time with the kid. I want to become like maybe a stay-home mom. I don't know. But yeah. So that was like, okay, maybe at that point of time when I'm 35, I'm going to change my goals is going to be, I want to focus on educating my kid kind of thing. Our kid, it sounds like, right? So having a goal helps us to be motivated to work towards it. And you might be thinking, okay, then if I work so hard and I achieve my goal so quickly, then what's after that? Well, you have another new goal after that. It could be monetary, it could be you want to spend more, build or something else or whatever, right? But a lot of time you feel sian because it's either the goal is set there, but it's the time frame that you give yourself to achieve it. Do I want to achieve it in 2 years? Do I want to achieve it in half a year? So when you set a goal that you want to, for me, I feel like I want to set a goal that I want to achieve, but I don't really care too much about the timeline. Like I know this is where I want to go. I'm just going to do until I hit there. And then once I hit there, then I look for what is the next goal post to hit. That's for me.
I think the goalposts, I think two things, right? I think first one is like, the truth is it never ends. There's always more goals. And inherently, that's what I believe in. Like we never stop. The only difference or the nuance is what kind of goalpost is being shifted. Because if you're saying like, I'm earning 20K a month and I really hit my goal, I'm financially free, for example, and then like, now I want 30K a month as my goal. Then once you hit that, you spend more, I want 50K a month right now. Now we are shifting a financial goalpost, right? There will always be goals. Right now, you need not, if you really hit the financial side of things, then maybe you want to start looking at other areas of life that you want to keep shifting your goal, right? And that's why I believe it. Like there's never an end game. The end game is when you die. And for some people, when you don't have goals, Some people live until 85, but they died at 35. Because there's nothing to work towards. Though. Every individual in society, if you really think about it, we don't even talk about purpose. We are born here to be used to others. And so the moment is, and here's the funny thing, right? When you want to hit our goals, personal selfish goals, we need to be useful to others before we can get it. Okay? Right? And so, quick story on what we've been through about one over a year ago. Not that recent. 2020, right?
Yeah.
We're telling ourselves, COVID times, right? We're like 25, 24 years old, young kids, right? Like, yeah. If we just earn $3,000 a month, we are set for life, eh?
We can bang already.
We can really bang on it. Like, you can just, like, 30K to us is a lot of money, right? Calculate expenses. Yeah, I think that is good. And what happened was that we read a lot of law of attraction, The Secret, that kind of stuff. And the universe, if you go to thesecret.com, there's this called like a universal check, right? So it's like a check. You can put in your number, and then it says sent by the universe, right? And we put $30,000 a month, and I paste it on my home, like both of us see it. And so what happened was, what we realized was that 2021, nearly halfway through 2021, right? One day we sit down, we look at financial, we look back, and say, shit. We actually, on average, did. And then we're like, cool. But then now the next round comes. We hit our goals. What's next? The first logical thought was, hey, let's do 50K a month now. Right? Like, it makes sense, right? Because we really enjoy what we do. And so then, okay, let's shift the goalpost, financial goalpost. Buy this, buy that, maybe we can do X, Y, Z, right? Shifted. We hit it. And then after that, same damn problem happened. And what happened was, during the period when we hit the second goal, we talk about, I think we are still doing what we do, right? But it was about 7 months of jadedness. It was just floating around. 有赚钱吗？有。Got money? Got help clients? Yes, clients have. Okay. Like that, and every day just felt like we had to go through the motion just to keep the money. And so it was, and that was quite frustrating. And it's only until like last year in maybe November, October period, when we decide, you know what? Let's set our goals. And this time, we do it a little differently. We know that if you get to 100, 200, 300, 500,000 a month, $1 million a month, right? The number in terms of the marginal usefulness from where we are right now to that, it's not a great major change on our lifestyle. It's just, sure, you get a bigger house, whatever, right? Even though that's not like really the thing that you want. But like, it helps you make your life a little better. But it's just marginal. And so then we talk about like, okay, cool, what do we want to build and how do we really want to build this? And what kind of impact we make? And then we look at the impact, which is X number, let's say, 1,000 advisors and leaders. But then that 1,000 advisors and leaders, in order to serve that, they need to pay so that we got expenses to keep the team and help them more, right? Then there's a revenue go to it. So now, the number is a byproduct of the real goal. The number, the financial number, is to keep score, whether are we reaching the intangible goal. That's how we look at it.
Yesterday's terminology, revenue.
Yeah.
Shows you how near you are to your goal.
Yeah. So like in this sense, that's how we look at it. Yeah. I mean, like, if not, it's very hard. Right? So I know you got hobbies. I know you like certain things. Right? Why don't you just do that? Right? A lot of times it's like when you look at the larger purpose of like purpose, goal, and everything else, it seems like a very cotton candy, remember? And so it's like, okay, I sit down here and then like I maybe think what other things I want. I think we're just gonna try. Yeah. And I think like if you do the things that you always tell me you love to do, and it seems I remember when you talk about it, I think it's cooking, right? Yeah. It's like it lit up your face, you love it. Like you actually smile. Like, how about you do that? Earn a good income, do that, have fun, and everything else. Make sense? Yeah. So goals never end. Okay. Yeah. That was very, the jadedness part. Some of you will resonate because you guys earn the money already and they like, so more like jaded. Some of you are like, what purpose? I don't ever earn money yet. Okay, so for those who will please earn money. Hey, what's the other one? Okay, cool. Next, great question though, Great question. Anyone else?
So this question is for both of you. Over the years, what habits have you changed or have followed through consistently that you actually into who you are today? Okay.
Mine is very drastic.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday, I was talking to some of our clients. Were saying about my poly days because they were asking if I drink and all. So I was like, oh, I don't drink anymore. Say in my poly days, I drank a lot. Poly, parties, so but I exposed my age. But yeah, anyway, yeah, clubs and everything. So I'm a super late sleeper. Yeah, I sleep at past midnight. Then when he was my manager, he 5 a.m. wake up, right? So sometimes I come back from party, 5 a.m. reach home, then I text him, hey, 5 a.m. club. I also so I also 5 a.m. club, but then I going to sleep at 5. Yeah. So when we started the business, it was a very tough process for me because he's a very disciplined person and I'm all over the place. So I sleep at 1, I eat, I don't exercise. I've never exercised in my entire life until I'm 25. Yeah, NAPFA test always fail one. Then last time we have PE class, right, in school. Yeah, for ladies, we always have an excuse, right? Oh, that time cannot, need to rest. So every week, I don't know, maybe the teacher think I got some health issue. Every week, sit out of PE class. So I barely exercised. So my lifestyle is a very extreme, unhealthy one. So after that, when we got together, I got influenced by him. You see him very disciplined, right? I think a lot of you also feel that when you see his story. 5 a.m. wake up, okay, I also want to try, right? And I want to be disciplined. So I try to work towards that. So for me, I took a really long time to build all these habits. I took about 2 years to have what my current routine is. So I started exercising. I started to do yoga. The first time I go yoga class, I feel like I'm splitting apart. Like those rubber band. Yeah, because I haven't moved in 25 years, right? So I started every week, I go yoga, I sign up, then I go spin class. I just try to go for things that I enjoy. So now, on a daily basis, I exercise. That's after 4 years. So now every day I try to exercise. If I feel very lazy, then I try to do a brisk walk with a treadmill and everything, 20 minutes, 30 minutes kind. Because I realize it helps me to focus on work after I started exercising. And it also helped me to be in a better mood. I don't have a huge mood swings anymore. Last time, quite crazy. I don't know horoscope or what, or ADHD. One moment I'm very happy, the next moment I'm crying. I'm like, oh my God, am I crazy? So that was one. Secondly, I started to sleep earlier. So from 5 a.m., there was a period of time, I follow him at 5 a.m. wake up. Then I realized that is not for me because I become the grumpiest person ever. Like now I'm very happy, right? But if you all see me wake up at 5 a.m., I tell you, like I'm very angry.
I learned my lesson, so I say you sleep.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
So I don't wake up at 5. I try to wake up at 7. So now I try to, from 5 a.m., I try to sleep at 1. I sleep at 12. Then I started to move my sleep time earlier. And then I purposely set an alarm clock on my phone. So I cannot track time. So I set an alarm clock on my phone. Every day at 8 p.m., my alarm clock will ring. And then my alarm says, wash up and sleep. So now when I go out with my friends, we have dinner, right? At 8 p.m., my alarm will ring. Everybody will know, oh, okay, Kelly needs to go home soon already. Like curfew like that. Yeah. So now they know my habits. So we don't really meet for dinner anymore. We meet for lunch. Yeah. So like my friends, if you want to meet me, then we meet lunch or early dinner. Yeah. So I made very small changes along the time and I see what works for me. I realized that I need to have 8 hours of sleep for sure. Anything lesser than that, I get very angry. So then usually I sleep from 11 to like 7, then just nice. It's a good. Then I have exercise. Food-wise, I'm still trying. So yeah.
You want to explain to her also the thought process, like why you make those changes, even though like you were doing perfectly fine. That was what necessity is that?
For me, first one is because we are a couple, so I want to have a similar routine so I can get to see him. Right. If I sleep at 5, he wakes up at 5, then I'm like, okay, good night, then I go and sleep. Then it doesn't make sense, right? So, and I was hospitalized twice in 2020.
2020.
Yeah, 2020. I was hospitalized twice because of my stomach issue. I have very severe like cramp in my stomach. So I was hospitalized twice, and I got diagnosed with my fatty liver. Yeah, I have like 48% fatty liver. My liver is like dying already. But
Context because Polly, she went overseas to Shenzhen
yeah, I went China,
and then
Shenzhen
it just dragged.
for 5 months. So 5 months of non-stop drinking.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
plus clubbing with
Yeah.
her lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like very, very bad. Like clubs, I think, oh, you see me on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. That's like the 3 days that are open, right? So you see me there every week. So my body was breaking down. Yeah, I realized, oh shit, I cannot continue this way. Right. And then I didn't my complexion wasn't good at that point of time. Like it was dull and dark. I look like a Filipino lah. I mean sorry. But then like people talk to me, they like, talk to me in other language. I'm like, hello, I'm Chinese. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
people would talk in different language. Like either like Tagalog or some favorites, or like sometimes it's like Bahasa. Like yeah.
yeah. So I was very like very bad state. So I wanted to every girl want to look good, right? So I wanted to look better. So I started to like try to sleep earlier, and I did see an improvement in my complexion is still not the best, but I look radiant. Yeah. Some clients will ask me, hey, what you use? You look like you're glowing. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I just have all these small little changes that I had.
She just need 8 hours of sleep and food. For the gentlemen or for the guys, please keep them well rested, well fed. These two things will keep them safe. Even though she had 8 hours of sleep, by the time it reached 12 p.m., let's say you work, right? About 12 p.m., she never had food. Now got trigger. I'm like, okay, cool. I need to make sure. Because I started meeting, right? 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. She get like super angst. Yeah, no patience. And I say, why like that? Very hungry. Yeah. I started to quarrel because of that. So now I'm smarter. Eat first before we meet. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah. Like I said, she's the boss, right? So that's that. Yeah. So like for in terms of habits and routine, I was thinking through just now also. Of course, we have the usual exercise, etc., etc. A lot of things that help me to where I am and where we are right now. And I also wish I get better at this particular habit, though it's been years in making. It's not losing myself. And so the habit that I'm doing is like, or rather the routine, right? It's more like I just set the goals already, right? We talk about setting goals. I look at it every single morning and night right before I sleep. And I have this small little note in my Evernote that talks about this. I call it a self-awareness book. And so what I typed in there was, there's a few times when I say broke down, means like I just feel like I don't give out life, right? I don't do anything. And so during those times, I always reflect. I look at what is making me unhappy, what's making me sad, what makes me happy, who are the people that I work with, so on and so forth. Why am I so... She says I'm disciplined, some people might think I'm disciplined, but like, sometimes I just want to just travel every week and then do work while I'm traveling. That's about it. I don't even want to stay in Singapore. I just want to keep finding... So during COVID times, right? When you cannot travel, we're only on Zoom, we're working, right? Trust me. You want to know about hotels? Ask us. Because every month, you ask our clients, no. Every month we go for 2 to 3 staycations, though. What we do there, we work. Just change the environment, right? So like, that's why I love Shangri-La a lot. I think we went there for that year. I think we went for like 14 times.
Yeah, about there.
Yeah. Because like, that's it, right? And then you dopamine also. And so why I say like reminding myself that this is who I am, this is why it goes. Because every day when I turn on my Instagram, I see my friends doing a particular method of getting clients. I see them doing events that is big. And I look at us small. And then I'm like, well, I also want to do like that. They must be doing something better, right, than me, And there's so many times, despite me even reminding myself where I headed to, I look at them and I just say, I want to do that too. 6 months, 9 months later, we always went back to where we are supposed to head to. So remember the loop that always happened, and it's a painful price. Because then you ask yourself, actually, this was what I wanted to do all along. Why did I listen up? And so one of the things is that just reminding myself who I am, to be authentic, because it's hard. Because even I myself, I want external validation, right? We all want to be liked, be approved, and everything else. And sometimes the thing is that, because of that, we tend to act in a certain way to get approval. Be nice, be whatever, right? Yeah, so I just remind myself, look, there are people that's not gonna like me, not gonna like you. And that's okay. Fuck them. Yeah. Now, when I say fuck them, I don't mean in a bad way. It's just me saying it, right? Yeah. So it's like the hater comment on the ads. Yeah, F you. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna die. We're not gonna die. To be honest. I don't know why I say to be honest. We are going to die. Not as if you're cheating death or something like that. Yeah. But just reminding that's so important. Yeah. How often do we look at our goals anyway? Only when mid-year or every month shortfall, then look at the goal, alamak. Yeah. But if you see every day, you wouldn't feel like you need to play catch up. So that's one that, amongst all the health thing, this is the one that, I feel that's most important. And just to add on to that, right, yesterday morning I did slides. Right, I did slides, right? Guys, I spent easily 20 over hours, 30 hours of slides. The total slide that we had was 500. Spent hours on it. And the reason why I did that was because I saw other people do it and I thought that was a very useful way of getting the point across, etc., etc. Just to find out yesterday that this might not be the way that you guys actually want it. Maybe you guys prefer the drawings. And then number 2, I didn't enjoy it either. And so go back to square. Good job. Hours of work. Now, I'm not saying that's waste. No work is ever wasted. I can put to a UT, whatever, right? No work is ever wasted. But just going back to that, yeah, that's the most important one. Find your North Star. Follow that. Okay? Yeah, hopefully that's helpful for you. Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe do another, 2, 3 more. You have the questions? Great question so far. Yeah, I love the question. You guys are asking great questions, by the way. Amazing questions. Yeah, next.
I'm just curious, right? That if you guys could do one last sharing, right, on business presentation, what would be one key lesson that you guys want the audience to do?
What a good question. How you know it's good or great? We have problems trying to reply, right? Because we need to think.
I can already foresee our answer will be very different. For me, would be always take risks.
Stress.
Because when you are doing a business, if you don't take risks, then what's the point? I might as well be a corporate person. For a lot of people, for me, I didn't want to be I studied accounting and I interned at PwC. So I was thinking, do I want to be an auditor in PwC or do I want to do something else? And I realized that if I go and be an auditor, of course, if you go up the ranks, become a partner, you get to earn a lot. But that is a good 10, 15 years before you can reach there. I'm just thinking to myself, is that the lifestyle that I want? And that's not. I wanted more to life. I feel like I can always have more in life. And I want to enjoy life. Somehow the things that I like are always expensive. For some reason. I see the thing, very nice. Then I see the price tag, I'm like, okay, not now. So
the not now is I say. He's like, want to buy it. I said, not now.
Sometimes I see okay, it's expensive, put it back. I know I want to have more in life and I feel like I deserve it also. Because that's very different from what my family says. My family say, it's not for us, this kind of people, to earn this kind of money. I say, why not? If I just put in the effort, I'm sure we can earn more, right? So for most people that already decided to do a business or what you can earn, what sky is the limit, right? For most salespeople. Then it's like, why don't you take risks so that you can actually enjoy that return? So for me, I would believe that you should always take risks. And especially if you're young and you don't have liability. One of the biggest things that I told Ben when we first started the training, which is AAS, right? I see, we should just do it. Like, what if it fails? Never mind, because we are young, we don't have any liability, we have no kids, we don't have a house or whatever. Let's just do it. And what if we make it? And if we make it, then isn't that what we wanted? So for me, it takes risks. Calculated risk. Yeah.
I'll add on a little bit of that and I have a different answer. So when it comes to taking risk part, I think what will be helpful in taking risk. I agree with that, even though I hate it. Because I'm a very conservative kind of person. I want to preserve and make sure like I don't normalize like all the fluctuations, right? And so that's why the retained earnings portion came out as because I need for myself as a peace of mind. She don't look at the numbers. I mean, she does the accounting, right? But the person that cares about the sales and make sure that we are floating and we are doing well, right, is me. So every time you see the bank account, you see the sales, you see whatever, right, it causes a lot of stress. And so I needed that retained earnings portion as a peace of mind fund, right? Very important. And I'm very kiasu. I have we aim for 24 months. And the reason for that is because I just asked ourselves, I say, if shit happens, there are 2 years that we don't work. What are the chances this time horizon we can't make it back again? Probably very, very low. So 2 years is good enough of time horizon, right? To stress or whatever. You know why? Remember, I fell down before. I go back up. Now I scared I fall down again. And now if I fall, I at least have cushion. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, when you're doing like those climbing and then they call the safety net or whatever it is. I just try to increase the safety net, right? So that's a risk standpoint. For me, I think if it is not like biggest lesson like in business I would love to share. And that's the hardest for me, right? Which is like, people come and go, man. People come and go. And let me elaborate more on that. One of the hardest things when it comes to business, I remember when we first started, 6 months in the business, right? COVID times, trying to shift house, trying to find a place, moved out, whatever. One of the methods by which we reach out to people, or we reach out to people or advisors, right? And some of you might have received it before, was we just call IG DM people. We didn't know how to make money. The program we signed up for say, DM these messages, this kind of thing, go and DM all the advisors, go IG and do it. Every day, use my IG, we'll DM advisors personally because we don't know how to earn money. Prospecting, basically. And then what happened was, we were so focused on trying to keep ourselves alive, keep ourselves money. We didn't talk to some of the friends and so on and so forth. Then there was this guy. It was kind of like a similar industry, etc. And then I heard from another friend who's a mutual friend of ours, right? And he said that, hey, this person say you are damn transactional now. All you care about is money. Dude, I was so hurt because you never expect someone who is a friend of yours that you hang out pretty much okay says that. I was damn bloody hurt. I look at her, I say like, are we doing anything wrong? I was so affected. Remember the tree and the sapling? I was the sapling. I'm like, how? You know what I did? I went back to the Instagram DM. And you know what's funny? The person who said they were transactional is not even an FA. But he had an FA client that we reached out to, and then the FA client told him and said that, you know what, I think this band reached out to me like that, like just very direct. Like Project 100, right? Like very direct. Then this friend was like, oh, actually, I didn't know he did transactional. A friend that you actually text and keep updates on each other. I was such a tree sapling. I think like the wind blew, I was just literally flat. I think my leaf flew away. Right? You know what I did? I went to the Instagram DM message that we sent out, right? And I went to analyze every single statement. I remember I was telling her, pushy man. I never even asked you want to buy it. I just asked you, will you be interested if I can help you do this? Just reply yes or no, right? Like, we mentioned, untransactional way, like whatever. And I was so affected, you know? Yeah. Took me a while to get over there, as you can see. And then we just said, okay, lah. Now we know this kind of people exist. 1 year later, got better, we made progress, got big. This fella reach out and ask whether can we collaborate and work together. Me being young, still young, right? I just said, I believe in second chance. So I was like, okay, let's have a chat, yada yada. And then we have a chat, and this person said, yeah, I did say you were transaction last time, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but hey, you know what? I realized you have changed.
What changed? Money.
Right? Yeah. You're more relational now, or whatever it is. Truth is, you're just the same person. Me, right? You work together. And then what happened was, work together. Months later, this fellow go back on his word. Pull out of an agreement that he requires him to pay certain money to the things they're working on. He didn't even do it on a call. He sent a long ass message, like in primary school or secondary school. Freaking long. Stating the reasons, blah, 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 blah. I like, what the hell, right? Like, how you go on a call and then you just talk it out and see how it goes, right? Never mind. And then there was this portion that says this. Even though I decided to get out of like this agreement or whatever, I would still love to tap on your network and work with you together on that.
Hope still work again.
I'm like, I cannot, right? And so this happened to a few other people, not in this extreme case, but it happened. And so what I realized is that like, when you are making progress, everybody is making progress, right? And when you see yourself doing things differently, people will kind of ostracize you. They kind of say bad things about you. They say you have changed. And sometimes it is true you have changed. It's just they cannot accept it. It used to affect me because I thought it was my problem to help them accept that I've changed and I'm making progress. But I realized that sometimes people feel sad that you break up a relationship, you don't talk to them as much. But some people make noise at you or they throw stones and rocks at you because it's a better excuse or reason to validate their insecurities. And so in now the business career, the people who really, and this is true, like 100% true, the people that really talk shit about you are the fuckers that's not doing as well as you. And those people could be your mother. I don't mean to call them fuckers, sorry. But that's not what I mean, okay? But you guys get the point.
That two sentence is not linked.
Yeah, it's not linked, okay? But it could be your mom, your dad, your agency, your colleagues, and your best friend. Those are painful lessons. I have a best friend, 10 years, was all fine until we went into business together. Didn't see, it was fine. Working together was fine. And sometimes, and he's slightly older than me, right? And so what happened was that like, he was working a different role. Obviously, he don't earn that kind of compensation as I do because we are the one that started the business, right? We hire him, but of course we say that let's make progress. And then what happened was unhappy because both of us work very long. He also worked very long, but his compensation, he feels like he don't earn as much. And then shit happened. So like, my point is, it's okay to prune your friends. It's okay to lose friends. It's fine, doesn't matter. Even if your father, mother is not living the life that you're living. I've been through that because I always wanted to live what my dad thought of me. Go to JC, went to army, right? I just want to go in and chill. Boy, son, Ben, you OCS, okay, go OCS. You know why? Because my dad went to OCS, he lost his campus, and then he got out of course. So he wanted me to go there. He wanted me to go uni because he was a poly diploma and he failed 1 year, and so he took extra year to get the diploma. And my dad is amazing, right? He's like 66, 67, earning good money. Let's just put it that way. And so I respect him. But he wanted me to live the life that he didn't live. And so when I went to the army, I did everything I can, you know? Like those army guys, right? Like platoon mess in BMT, didn't get to OCS. You know why? Everybody did except for me. You know why? Because before you enlist, right, for the list, you got to do some intelligence quiz, pattern recognition. In short, I was too stupid. Truth. And then my officer had to, after I walked the 24, click. Hey, Ben, I'm sorry, man. I checked my friend in India. Here, go OCS. So I went to SCS at sergeant course, right? I did everything. I got my civil bayonet, whatever, like those top 10. Wanted to go crossover, right? And then the person said, hey, if you go from this sergeant course to this officer course, right, you still extend your enlistment by another 3 months. And then if you're a guy, you never want to extend, right? I was like, no problem. That's how crazy I was, right? And how I wanted to fulfill my dad's expectation. Didn't get through. And so that's that, right? And so I want you guys to live your own life and understand that friends will come and go. Agency, colleagues will come and go. And I think by caring about yourself a lot about the things you want, you by default will benefit others around you also. A lot of people feel like if you're selfish about your goals, it means you don't care about other people. That's not what it means, right? In fact, you're able to give more to others. Exactly. Yeah, so I hope that's helpful. Okay, so I think last couple.
Question to either Ben or Kelly is, okay, I want to hear from your perspective, where do you think our industry is heading, given like so many things are moving like AI and all this, right? And the context was actually a few months ago, my nephew wanted to buy some insurance. So he actually went online and then he actually, the Sing Life and the government SAF in-depth thing.
Yeah.
So the long and short of it is that he bought like a 1 million term and then 500,000 CI and also 300,000 ECI. Everything ends up about maybe less than 1,000 plus PA and all this. So it's quite difficult like to compete on the premiums for this kind of profile, the younger lot. And then it seems they are quite savvy. And then even like investment, I talked to him, he was like pretty much all on ETF, regular savings with zero sales charge. But this young group, Gen Z or millennials, one day they will grow up, they will become like 50, 60 years old.
Yeah.
So they will be like, the industry will keep moving and then one day they will be like all will become very sad. So what's your view, what's your perspective of our industry going forward with the AI and with the younger lots growing older? What sort of value can we offer them if it seems to going all already? So I'd like to hear about it. Thanks.
Yeah, kind of like a question with the US, right? And US, the reason why I go US is because US, the way they do things is way more advanced. So like whatever they're doing right now, they're probably done it 5 years ago, right? And so we just want to look ahead, right? And so what happened was that we asked about AI and stuff like that, about financial advisors. The thing is that you just fundamentally go down to AI. We want to have businesses or grow things or do things that AI doesn't disrupt. And one of the things that AI does not, two things that AI does definitely will not disrupt, right? Which is number one, having a sense of belonging, which in other words, relationship. And then number two is that education. And also health. Because like AI cannot eat for you. AI cannot like learn for you. Like AI learns for itself and give you the knowledge, but you still got to do the consumption, right? And the third one is really, like I mentioned, back to the first one, it's just relationship. Like those are things that AI cannot disrupt, right? And so like, this is something, and that's a great question by the way, Dennis. So there's something that we also looked at in the last like 6 months. We talk about AI, right? Because thinking of all the ChatGPT stuff and we got sidetracked into that. And then this is the reason why content is important. Yes, we do trainings, whatever it is. All the things that's important to us, right, is that we want to build community, right? And that's why I care a lot about community, because this will never go away, right? And so you look at things that won't disrupt. So in the context of like being an advisor here, two things. Number one, I know it sounds so lame, but it's just relationship. Just really, you know why relationships are so important with your prospects and clients? Because it's easier to get out of a contract than get out of a relationship. And so having a relationship keeps someone or some people more stickier than others. Like you getting married with someone has less to do with the certification, but more about the person between you and the other person, right? It's more of that, right? It's less about the marriage certification, right? The certification is just there to formalize, right? And so there was something that we had a conversation about, like I proposed to her not too long ago. And then she got a very, very big ring, right? You know how you know why she get all the things that she want? Because she got goals, she put on the vision board. Guess who sees the vision board? Right. So right. Yeah. So like it is right. So I think the thing is it's just really like relationship, right? And so like we had a conversation, we said that, hey, you know what? We've been staying together already. We are not married yet, but like we're living as though we're a couple that's been here for like 4-5 years. The marriage certificate and the ring is not too much, right? But relationship, you know? And so that's why when people go AI, all the stuff, right? Relationships is still the fundamental thing of it. And so like with those younger kids, you can talk to a few young folks here. We have very, very young folks. There's Ryan, right? Joey, right?
Brandon
Also,
also.
right? Huh?
Brandon.
Then Brandon. Where's Brandon? How young are you, Brandon? 24. He's probably that kind of like the person you talked about just now. Your nephew who went to whatever, right? Yeah, you can even talk to them. I think like just because they're young, they think they know it all. It's just ego. So that they're tree sapling. I think I know it. No, they don't know shit. Right? And so the thing is that it's not that they're not willing to listen to you. Young people are willing to listen if they feel like you care about them for their own interests rather than you telling them what they need to do. Yeah. We hate being told what to do. Yeah. So for some of the leaders, you have some problems, right? Yeah. Because like they don't like you to tell them what to do. Even though it's needed. Like work 5 hours instead of 1 hour, right? Yeah, but I don't like you telling me. Right? I want purpose. Right? Is that? Yeah. So good relationship. And that's the toughest part, to be honest. Like simple to do, hard to do. Because you spend time. Yeah, so that will never disrupt. Like that will never. And so that's why we predicate so much on like the systems that we have, right? A lot to do with what's the fundamental principles. Value creation and relationship, because we know we'll never go away. And so we want things that will fundamentally last forever, but yet the packaging of how we deliver it will be different. Right? It's like mooncakes will always be mooncakes, right? You always those same damn bloody ingredients. Right? Now once in a while they have ice cream mooncakes. But fundamentally, it's still a mooncake. There's a different ingredient, hard packaging. So that's that. Relationship. You look at brand, let's like slight tangent to brand. Like brand has a lot more. If you have a brand, I'll give you an example. We went to Vegas, right? We went to some other countries and we took business class, right? And so there's this airline called Starlux, right? By the way, pretty good, pretty solid stuff. So we took it. And then I think we went to Vegas, LA lah. I think it was like 5 point per bag, something like that. So bank grade, right? Because can't claim shit for Starlux, right? So you pay money. And we went there. It's pretty good, right? And the reason why we took Starlux was because when we checked SQ, it was like 7 or like 8K. I was thinking to myself, like, what the hell, man? Like, this last time when it wasn't that expensive, why the hell did you pay so much? Yeah. But after we take Starlux, after everything, like, we still like SQ still the best. Yeah, right? And it's just because they have a strong brand such that the premium of how they charge, right? And the stickiness of that relationship it's a relationship that makes it more sticky. Makes sense? And also because it's SQ, we are Singaporeans. And it's a kind of relationship, you see? So it's always about that. More than any product. Now, I'm sure product matters, right? Sometimes, where's my Lion company? Lion company got big akong, which is called the bank, right? And so sometimes you fight with bankers on your UL products or financing or whatever. The bankers try to steal, they offer you XYZ. Those shit matters because like if you have 1-2% of a huge premium, it matters. It's a lot of money, right? And so like those things do matter, but fundamentally, like it's still a relationship. Make sense? Yeah. And if you keep that sticky, like you'll never have a problem with this industry. Even if the industry do go to fee-based, which I won't foresee for many years, right? You still will not go wrong when you put relationship. It's like saying like AI will wait. If I'm a father and I have kids, will AI disrupt my relationship with my kid? Probably really hard, right? It will change the way how it's like done. Probably will disrupt. So relationship and value creation will always fundamentally be the principle. Never go wrong. This is a recording, right? Okay, cool. I can look back 10 years later. I know whether I'm wrong or not. So that's that. We have a little bit more time. We do last one. Anyone?
I feel like the word breakthrough has been used very what happens if you hit the income median but then you just feel like, and, like I don't feel the breakthrough. Then how do we find the meaning behind it all?
Yeah, if that is how you feel, meaning you say is like, what if you achieve something and what you don't feel that, right? The way I would describe this or to explain this, right, is I have this friend, let's not mention it. I have this friend, and family got a bit of money, and very good looking. But his parents don't really care about him, right? Because they're busy working, right? Those kind. And so this friend of mine decides, and he got this very, I won't say bad habit, I just say it's habit. In his entire 20s and whatnot, right? He always fucks around, he sleeps around. Like, what's the recent term called body count? Right? Everyone don't mean how many people he sleep. Okay, sleep with, right? Slept with. Yeah, it's at least 100. And so, when we had a conversation, we just chatting, right? And then a conversation, and then what we realized was that the reason I asked, hey, this one, when are you going to settle down? Find the right lady, find the right woman, settle down, and do marriage, whatever. And then after that, we realized, and I said, why do you keep sleeping around also, right? And then, no tired me. No drama, right? After that, he said, I also don't know that, bro. Maybe you can coach me, right? So then I asked a few questions, dived in there. And here's what I found. I found that the reason why he keeps sleeping around, fundamentally because he was trying to fulfill a need on the inside. And so for him, what he wanted was just really to be loved, to be accepted. And so his thought process was that in order for me to get love and get to be accepted, I will go and sleep around. And so that's where the flaw is, because then you're trying to use an external solution to solve an internal problem. And so when it's the same thing with the breakthroughs, right? There's this X amount, if I can hit these, I'll be happy. So you're using an external solution if you hit that to solve an internal problem, right? And so you might have something that's missing that you have not identified what is really missing. You're just trying to use numbers and all the breakthroughs to make yourself feel better. Okay? Yeah. And so you got to see what's inside. Maybe it's love. We had a conversation yesterday. Maybe it's that, and we talk about using that to compensate, right, for those gaps. And it doesn't work. And that's why we have all the younger folks in primary school, secondary school, they get into gangs and all this stuff. Yeah, because they're not that accepted or well-loved to a certain degree by their families and that kind of stuff, right? And they don't want to get, they don't want to do all these things. They just want to be accepted. And if to be accepted, I need to do all these things, I'll do it. Because the sense of belonging in a human is super high. And so I was studying some of the advisors yesterday, just ladies. I was saying that, you don't realize some, in your agency, every agency has this 1 or 2 person, not doing well one. How you know this person not doing well? Let me define. You think, hey, actually, why you still stay? You should totally get a corporate job. Or go and switch agency. Those kind of people. Sure have one. Right? Think of that, 1 or 2 person. One of the big reasons why they still stay is because the price or the cost of not belonging to something or to a group far outweighs the money that they're going to earn. And so we have our fellow company P people who will stay with company P and don't switch to any company and just rather do an internal transfer because that sense of belonging far outweighs the money that they're missing out on or that they're going to earn. And that's the power of relationship. And if you look at company P, what I honestly, among some companies, company P builds a very great culture. And what they are really building, which in my opinion is the way to go, is they're building community. Not cult, community. Community. Right? And if I just define community, just for everybody to understand the lens through which we see things, community is, what's the difference between community and a group? A group of people is just basically you and I, we see each other, okay, let's go and see Zhou Jielun concert, right? Or Taylor Swift. There's a group of people with a mutual interest. A community is both of us, I care about your welfare and you care about my welfare towards Taylor Swift concert. So a group of people is you want to go Taylor Swift, okay, try to get your tickets, I try to do it myself, right? Own self own target, go and do it. Community is like, hey bro, you got Taylor Swift already not? You want me, I help you or not? Hey, how about we do it together? Let's get in the tickets together. That's what community is. There's mutual benefit. Right? So like just now, everybody has to go, right? Which is, please high-five this amount of people. Suddenly becomes community because like, you want to make sure everybody gets it, right? That's what community is, you know? Yeah. And so like going back to the point, I think it's just missing something internally that cannot be covered by all the things external, whether it's your condo, a car, or more material possessions. Yeah. I'm saying it because I have all these, I lose it, I get it, it doesn't matter. Right? So consider that. Cool. Okay, great. We have a round of applause for all the questions. Yeah.